Hello friends, welcome to Irina's tutorial once again. The story today is a visit to grandmas. You all know grandparents are real treasure troves of immense love, fairy tales, cookies, and lots more. At the end of the story, we'll learn what adjectives are. So, please stay tuned and don't forget to like, share and subscribe the channel. Thank you. Hello children, I'm back with another story, and the story today is a visit to grandmas. It was a bright sunny day. Kim ran into the garden and called out to her mother, "I'm ready, Mother. Let's go. It's such a lovely sunny day." Mother came to the doorway carrying a basket. "Take this out to the car, dear," she said. "I've packed some food for Grandma and Grandpa." Kim took the basket from Mother. Something smells good," said Paul as he came down the stairs. "I've baked a cake for Grandma and a pie for Grandpa," said Mother. "What about us?" said Paul. "It's a long way to Grandpa's farm and we'll be hungry after a while." "There are snacks for you too," laughed Mother. Father was outside putting their bags into the car. Kim gave him the basket and they all got in. "Kim, did you remember to pack Grandma's wool and knitting needles?" asked Mother. "Yes, Mother, they are in my bag," said Kim. "I shall tell Grandma to knit me a woolen scarf. Maybe it will be ready before our trip to the mountains." Grandpa and Grandma lived on a farm far away from the city. They had a large house with two pet dogs called Bimbo and Sheba and a pet cat called Cleo. They had also got a pet tortoise a few days ago. Kim and Paul loved to visit them and play with the pets. Grandpa also had 4 horses in his stables. Kim loved horses and she went riding at the farm every day. "I wonder how big Bimbo has grown," said Paul. "He was such a naughty little dog when we saw him on our last visit." "But Sheba was a darling," said Kim. "Remember how she used to snuggle up in her blankets last winter?" "Yes, and Grandma would come and scold us for letting her into our beds," laughed Paul. "Children, this time you must help Grandma and Grandpa on the farm," said Father. "You are old enough now and they need help on the farm." "Oh yes, Father, don't worry," said Kim. "I shall help Grandma feed the hens and collect the eggs. I love playing with the sweet little chicks." "And I shall help Grandpa feed the horses and clean the stables," said Paul. "Are you going to learn how to ride a horse this time, Paul?" asked Kim with a naughty smile. Yes, I am," said Paul. "I shall tell Grandpa to teach me how to ride a horse." On their visit to the farm some weeks ago, Paul had not gone near the stables at all. He was frightened of horses. But his best friend Ray loved horses. Ray showed Paul how to feed the pony they had at school. Soon Paul learned to play with the pony and was not frightened anymore. "You can learn to ride on, Robbie," said Nora. "He's so gentle." By now, they had left the city far behind. The cool breeze blowing through the window made Paul and Kim sleepy. After a while, both of them fell asleep. Suddenly, Paul woke up and said, "I'm hungry, Mother. Where is the food you packed for us?" They all stopped for a while and had some sandwiches and juice. When they drove into the farm, they found Grandma waiting for them. Kim jumped out of the car and ran to greet her. The two dogs, Bimbo and Shaber, ran around barking happily. Paul got down and tried to pick up Bimbo, but he was too big now for Paul's little hands. Bimbo licked Paul's face and barked. Grandpa came out to greet them. "Hello, Paul, Kim. How big you've grown," said Grandpa as he hugged both of them. "Hello, Grandpa. Let's go and look around the farm," said Paul. "There will be time enough for that later," said Grandma. "Come in and rest for a while." "Grandma, we've brought your knitting needles and wool," said Kim. "Will you knit a woolen scarf for me? I want to wear it when we go to the mountains." "Yes, dear, I will. Now come and put your bags in your room," she said. As they walked into the living room, Paul tripped over something on the floor and fell. "Oh, I'm sorry, Paul. Are you hurt?" said Grandpa as he helped Paul to get up. "It's that silly Oliver. He's always in the way." "Oliver? Who's that?" asked Kim at once. "Oliver is a tortoise. He's our new pet. I told you about him last week, didn't I?" said Grandpa. "Look, there he goes." The children turned around to see a tortoise slowly walking along the floor. "Oh, he's so sweet," said Kim as she bent down to look at him. "Grandpa, will he be frightened and run away if I touch him?" "Tortoises can't run, silly. They only walk," said Paul. "I know that," said Kim. "When Oliver is frightened, he tucks his head into his shell," said Grandpa. "That's how I found him. He had fallen into a pit and could not get out. I thought he was a stone till I saw him move. He looked so lost and frightened that I brought him home." Kim stroked Oliver's shell. "He's so gentle," she said. "Grandpa, where's Cleo? I can't see her anywhere," said Paul. She must be on her favorite tree," said Grandpa. "She has become fat and very lazy." Paul went out to look for Cleo, the pet cat. "Cleo, where are you?" "Meow, meow," he said, trying to mew like the cat. He saw Cleo sitting on the branch of a tree. "There you are," said Paul. "Cleo, Grandpa was right. You have become fat and lazy." The fat cat mewed softly and licked her lips. "Lunch is ready, children," said Grandma. "Wash up and come to the table." There were plenty of goodies for lunch. Father took a large helping of his favorite roast potatoes, while Mother helped herself to some salad. There were pizzas for the children too. Thank you for baking my favorite pie, said Grandpa, as he helped himself to a large slice. In the evening, the children went to the stables. Kim went for a ride on her favorite horse named Silver. The next day, Paul ran to Grandpa to begin his riding lesson. At first he was a little frightened, but he soon began to enjoy himself. Grandpa showed him how to ride Robbie, the gentle pony. Paul quickly learned how to ride and was soon riding all over the farm. "This is fun, Grandpa," he said. "When I go back to school, I shall show my friends that I can ride." Kim went with Grandma to the pens. First she helped Grandma feed the hens, then she carefully collected the eggs from each pen and put them in a large basket. "Thank you, Kim," said Grandma. "You've been a great help." "I enjoyed it, Grandma," said Kim. "I love to come here and play with the sweet little chicks. I shall come and help you every day." That night, Grandpa and Father cooked dinner. "Please pass me an egg," Father said to Grandpa as he stirred the stew. "Here you are." Oops! Grandpa dropped the egg. Father laughed and said, "Never mind, we'll clean up later." After Grandpa and Father had finished cooking, the children helped them clean up. Then they sat down to dinner. Father and Grandpa had made baked vegetables and salad and stew. "That was a good dinner," said Kim. "Now let's have the cake Mother baked for Grandma," said Paul. The next day, Paul ran off for his riding lesson with Grandpa. After the lesson, Grandpa taught Paul how to feed the horses and clean the stables. "I wish Ray could see me now," Paul said to Grandpa. "I don't know why I was so frightened of horses. They are so gentle, and my pony Robbie is a darling." Every morning, Kim helped Grandma feed the hens and collect the eggs. Paul helped Grandpa clean the stables and feed the horses. Then the children played ball with the dogs and went for long walks on the farm with their father and mother. After lunch, everyone rested for a while. Then they played games or watched television together. The children were enjoying their visit to Grandma's, but soon it was time to go back. "We have been here for a week, but I feel like we came here just a day ago," said Paul as he hugged Robbie for the last time. "Yes, I know," said Kim, stroking Oliver's shell. "I wish we didn't have to go so soon." "Never mind, children," said Grandpa. "We'll be seeing you again soon." "Yes, all of us are going on a trip to the mountains, remember?" said Grandma. "Oh yes," said Paul as he and Kim hugged Grandpa and Grandma. "Bye, we'll see you again soon." Mother and Father also said goodbye to Grandma and Grandpa, and they drove away. "That was fun," said Kim. "Yes," said Paul. "I hope we can visit Grandma and Grandpa again soon." Now see, children, I've written 4 sentences on the board. A. It was a bright sunny day. B. I've packed some food. C. They had a large house. D. He was such a naughty little dog. Now, bright, sunny. These are the words that describe the noun day. What kind of day was it? It was a bright, sunny day. I've packed some food. I have packed some food. How much food have I packed? Some food. So this is placed before the noun food. They had a large house. What kind of house had they? They had a large house. So this large tells about the house. It tells what kind of house they had. They had a large house. It describes, it modifies the noun house. It tells us more about the house. Okay, then D. He was such a naughty little dog. What kind of dog was he? He was a naughty little dog. So these are the words placed before the noun dog. So what do you think an adjective is? An adjective is a word which tells us about a noun. It describes a noun. Okay. Now we will do kinds of adjectives. There are adjectives of quality, adjectives of quantity or number, demonstrative adjective, interrogative adjective, and possessive adjective. So, adjective of quality 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 kinds of adjectives we are going to discuss today. Now, what is adjective of quality? It tells us of what kind a thing is. Example, we should wear clean clothes. What kind of clothes should we wear? Clean clothes. So, it is telling us what kind of clothes. So this is adjective of quality. Now quantity or number, adjective of quantity or number. Quantity will tell us of indefinite number, and quantity of adjective of number will give us a specific number. For example, quantity will tell us how much, and adjective of number will tell us how many. For example, I want some money. Some is actually an indefinite number, and there are 30 children in the class. So 30 is a definite number. So this tells us, some tells us about quantity and 30 tells us about number. Now demonstrative adjective. It points out specific things or people. Listen to that lady. Which lady? That lady who is standing there at the gate. Now interrogative. It asks questions. Which way shall we go? So which is it is an interrogative adjective, and we should put a question mark at the end. Then comes possessive. It tells us about the possession of a thing. This is my pen. Whose pen is this? My pen. So my is an adjective of possession or possessive. Let's come to comparison of adjectives now. Here you can see 3 trees I've drawn. Tree A, let's take the adjective tall for it. So it's a tall tree. What about B? See, you can see it has a greater height. It has a greater height than A. So it is taller than A. And tree C, see, it has the greatest height. So it is tallest tree. So when the adjective remains in its first form, it is in the positive degree. When you compare two things, or here you find the second tree is taller. So taller is the comparative degree of the adjective tall. And when you compare more than two things, then we use the superlative degree of the adjective. So here we have used tallest, or we can say that tallest is the superlative degree of the adjective tall. Let's learn the formation of comparative degree and superlative degrees of adjective. Usually, the comparative degree ends with ER and superlative degree ends with EST, but there are certain exceptions. Let's study those exceptions. Now see here, number 1, the positive degree of the adjective happy. Happy is an adjective, you all know. Now here see, the word happy ends with Y and there is a consonant before it. So in the comparative degree, what happens? This Y is changed into I and then we add ER. In the superlative, the Y is changed into I and then we add EST. Second rule. This is a monosyllabic word, sad. It ends with D, a consonant. In the comparative, and let me tell you, it ends with a consonant, but there is a vowel. It is preceded by a vowel. So here in comparative degree, this consonant is doubled and then we add ER in the comparative degree. In the superlative degree, we add double the consonant. So we have double D and then we add EST. What is the third rule? Intelligent. Now this is, it has more than one syllable. Intelligent. So what do we do here? In comparative degree, we use more, more intelligent. In comparative degree, we use more before the adjective, and in the superlative degree, we use most. So most intelligent. So more and most are added when the adjective or the positive degree of adjective is